Okay, for part 3 today. Hi again. I wanted to talk to you about something else. I usually don't really want to get into the Watchtower or Jehovah's Witness thing, but I had to go ahead and do something and let you know about this one because this one is the very thing that I have been saying for years and years and years. So, this morning I looked at some things and here we are. If you don't already know about the Jehovah's Witnesses, they are a pedophile cult. They have special rules in place called the Jehovah's Witness two witness rule, which basically demands any victim of child sexual abuse to produce two adult eyewitnesses to the crime. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, right? But not just any two adult witnesses. It has to be Jehovah's witnesses, and they have to be in good standing. They can't just be any Jehovah's Witnesses. So, what is the chances of a pedophile saying, "Hey, yo, brother, yo, sister, come over here and witness this pedophilia that's about to go down"? What's the chances of that happening? Zero, right? So they have special rules in place to basically breed pedophilia, but it doesn't stop there. In the past week, two more civil lawsuits were filed in District Court, Montana, in which a large number of elders, ministerial servants, and others from the Hardin, Montana area are accused of running a pedophile ring during the late 70s and early 80s. Now, I'm already going to stop here and say, I don't think that ring is done with. Why did it stop in the 70s and 80s? I mean, after the 80s. What reason would they have? None whatsoever, because they're still going door to door. I mean, not right now, but, Jehovah's Witnesses are still out there doing their thing. I'm only posting a few redacted and highlighted samples of court documents here, as these cases are highly disturbing, and I'm protecting the names of the survivors. These crimes These crimes were not only covered up by Watchtower and the congregation elders, but many of the elders themselves were the perpetrators of these unspeakable acts of sexual abuse. Let me read that again for you. But many of the elders themselves were the perpetrators of these unspeakable acts of sexual abuse. So, with a two witness rule in place, you can see how there is just nothing but a huge pedophile paradise within the Jehovah's Witnesses JWorg Watchtower. The crimes also took place during a time when it appears Montana law did not exempt members of clergy from reporting child abuse to law enforcement. What, honey? Yes, Sister Billy Bertha May Smith. Oh my goodness, honey, you mean to tell me Montana law did not accept them? No, ma'am. Oh, honey. Let's go further. The second court case filed on May 1st calls out the names of multiple predator elders and others, including Martin Svensson, Bruce Mapley Sr., Gary Baker, Jay Donovan, Dale Hebert, Bill O'Neill, and Jim Warnock. Oh boy, we got some names, don't we? Don't we love naming elders? Oh, honey, you shouldn't be naming them elders, honey. You should wait on Jehovah to fix it in the new system. Well, guess what? I believe myself to already be in the new system, so no need to wait any longer. The complaint states, during this time, Martin Svensson was an elder of the Hardin congregation in or around 1979. The Svenssons built a new house with a room in the basement dedicated to sexually abusing children, including victim 1 and 2. Can you believe it? They built a dungeon basement dedicated to sexually abusing children. Hey, there's a two-witness rule. These kids will never, ever, ever be able to get away from this because they're not going to have two witnesses. As many cases I've seen and worked on, it's one of the worst. Nothing surprises me any longer. Me neither. This case has been filed as a result of the opening of a one-year window in Montana, allowing victims to seek justice who were previously barred by the statute of limitations. And, Alabama doesn't have a statute of limitations, by the way. I love that part about Alabama. And even if the perpetrator is dead, the enabler and the instigator of the pedophilia is still alive. And therefore, that's still looming over them for the rest of their life. How about that? So anyway, back to Montana and this right here. I want to show you a couple of things here. So this is part of these court documents the guy was talking about, highlighted up here. The Svensons began sexually abusing victim 2 in or around 1977 when she was 4 years old, and continued until in or around 1985, almost 10 years. Such abuse generally consisted of ritualistic torture, forced anal and vaginal penetration with foreign objects. Oh my God, this is disgusting. Vaginal, anal rape, and forced oral penetration. This is Jehovah's Witnesses, people. These people come into your door, knocking on your door. This is that. During this time, Martin Svensson was an elder of the Hardin congregation. In or around 1979, the Svensons built a new house with a room in the basement dedicated to sexually abusing children, including victim 1 and victim 2. From 1979 to 1985, victim 2 was sexually abused by the following people in the Svensons' basement: Bruce Mapley Sr., aka Mapley Sr., Warnock, Gary Baker, Jay Donovan, Dale Hebert, and Bill O'Neill. Such abuse consisted of forcing victim 2 to ingest alcohol and or drugs and subjecting her to various acts of sexual abuse and ritualistic torture. During this time, Mapley Sr., Warnock, Baker, Donovan, Hebert, and O'Neill were elders of the Hardin congregation. Now, does that not sound like Madison and North congregation in Montgomery, Alabama? I wonder if those elders over there might have been doing a little something like what these elders over here have been doing. Because I tend to think that this isn't something exclusive to that area there in Montana. Wherever you happen to be listening from, I'm willing to bet that this is happening or this. No, I don't even think it stopped happening. I think it's happening all across the globe with these Jehovah's Witnesses, honestly, because I know a lot about what's going on in Montgomery, Alabama and surrounding towns. But let's get back to this. Prior to Haynes and Mapley Sr. sexually abusing plaintiffs in or around 1977, Haynes and Mapley Sr. both admitted to the church that they had, I don't know, I think I'm missing a page somewhere, but this second page here says such abuse generally consisted, okay, we've already read that. During this time, Quentin Means was an elder. Wait. Such abuse generally consisted of forced vaginal penetration. God, this is disgusting. Here we go. Such abuse generally consisted of forced vaginal penetration with fingers and foreign objects such as mixing spoons. God dang. These people are evil. And y'all tell you something else. Even if you're a Jehovah's Witness and you're not molesting kids, the fact that you help protect that organization, you're part of this. You may as well be one of these people, as far as I'm concerned. All right, let's go. During this time, Quentin Means was an elder of the hardened congregation of Jehovah's Witness. Gunnar Haynes and his first wife, Joyce, began sexually abusing victim one. Even the women are in on it, people. This is what I've been saying for years, that there's pedophile rings and all kinds of uh, networks within this cult. It says they began sexually abusing victim one in or around 1983 when she was 5 years old, and continued in or around 1988, and began sexually abusing victim two in or around 1984, and continued until 1986. Such abuse generally consisted of forced penetration with fingers, forcing victim one and two to sexually abuse other children. Oh my God, this is disgusting. Forcing other children to sexually abuse victim one and two. This is some R. Kelly stuff. You see what these people do? They're evil. And yes, I truly know that there are sex trafficking, child trafficking, and sex trafficking rings within this cult. During this time, Haynes was a ministerial servant of the hardened congregation. Jim Warnock sexually abused victim one in or around 1983 when she was 5 years old, after she walked in on him abusing his own daughters. During this time, Warnock was an elder of the hardened congregation. Martin Svensson and his wife Millie began sexually abusing victim one in or around 1986 when she was 8 years old, and continued until 1988. So here's what I want you to do. If you don't know anything about the Jehovah's Witnesses and you're investigating them, especially the stuff that you've been finding out about the Jehovah's Witnesses in Montgomery, Alabama, or elsewhere, I invite you to find these particular news stories. These are kind of dated because this information has been out there for some years. And, like so many other legal cases and cases of injustice, it gets swept under the rug, or it gets put on the back burner. People forget it, especially now with COVID. Everybody's busy with the Teenage Mutant Ninja COVID Corona, right? So Google Bethel International Missionary Porn Ring. Bethel is the Jehovah's Witnesses headquarters name. That's their cult headquarters name, where they rule from New York. Now they're located in Warwick, New York. Check out the Reddit thread. Check out the news reports. You got some digging to do. But listen, the virus is not the only dangerous thing out there. And if you have kids, you need to make sure your kids are safe, because sexual abuse, any kind of abuse, but especially sexual abuse, it just takes one time to ruin your child's life. People have to live with the aftermath and the consequences of such things until their grave. And if I if you could stop just one more child from having to go through that hell, this is all worth it. So thanks for listening. Let me see if I got one more thing for you to check out. Hold on just a minute. That's the one right here. Was there a Jehovah's Witness Bethel International Missionary Porn Ring? You're going to find out this man was busted at the Chicago O'Hare Airport for videotaping young boys and men using the bathroom. He was a high-ranking Jehovah's Witness agent, a Watchtower agent, and they busted him. They went into his Bethel Jehovah Witness headquarters dorm. He had a roommate for 16, 17 years. Plus they have maids come clean it twice a day and go through all the stuff. It's a very high control group, okay? So everything is seen. There's no privacy. But yet somehow no one knew that this guy had over 300 child porn DVDs and CDs. No one seemed to know. So yes, take a look at that. Google that. I'm glad this is coming to the forefront now. Seems like COVID and this quarantine is giving all of us a lot more time on our hands, and it's making us think about things that we might have probably rather not thought about. We were too busy with life and work and all of the different things that right now are on hold. So COVID and Corona is really, really going through some things. It's going through humanity in so many ways other than just the physical disease and death. Okay? So thanks for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Let's dig up some stuff. Let's look around. Let's be aware. Let's share that. Let's share it to the greater public. I'm so glad to see this. In the past week, 2 more civil lawsuits were filed in District Court, Montana. It's progress. It's progress. In which a large number of elders, ministerial servants, and others from the Hardin, Montana area are accused of running a pedophile ring. They're not just molesting and protecting and covering up. They're dedicating basements. They're running child trafficking and pedophile rings. You better wake up, people. Better wake up. Because the rest of the world is. At least I'd like to think that. Seems like it is. So yes, I'm glad to see this come to the forefront. And we've got names up in here. Martin Stevenson, Bruce Mapley, right up there with Gregory Mintz. And some of these other names. Oh, I love it. You see? All right, thanks for watching, people. Talk to you soon. Have a good day.